Hello beaders, it's Jerry. Welcome back to Beachside Bead Boutique. And if you are new here, welcome and thank you so much for joining me. On this channel, I do jewelry DIYs, bead unboxing videos, and bead hauls. And today, we are going to be unboxing the Magical Mystery Bead Box from Jesse James Beads. And this is for the month of November. So I'm really excited about it. So let's go ahead and get started and open this up and see what we got. And also stay tuned to see what I design from the contents of this box. So stay tuned. And if you're not familiar with Magical Mystery Bead Box, it is a monthly subscription. It is $49.95 a month, but it will come right to your door every single month. So you won't have to worry about it's going to be sold out. Am I going to be able to get it in time? If you subscribe to it, it will come to your door. And it is jam-packed with all kinds of good things, usually a couple beautiful bead strands and mixed beads, bead caps, and so many unique and different things that I have not seen before. So it is just really amazing, the things that come in this box. And then I will link that in my description box so you can check this out. Okay, we have Ancient Egypt. And this card itself is very pretty too, isn't it? They always give you a nice detailed card letting you know what is in the box. But it's very pretty and pretty colors, so I'm really excited. And like I said, this is for October 2025. So then on the back is a list of contents of everything that's in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and look and see what we got. Oh, wow. Such beautiful colors I see already. Okay, let me just go ahead and get everything organized and I will be right back. Okay, you guys, I am really excited for this one. So first, we have King Tut. Look at these beautiful beads. Look at this lotus flower right here with that blue sapphire on the inside. This color is so exquisite. The sapphire blue with the gold is just beautiful. And look at this one. I love the shape of this, and look at the colors in here. You have that pretty sapphire, but you also have some swirls of different shades of blue. You see that? And then of course we got a faceted bead, and it's a nice flat bead. And we have some spacers and this one. I mean, this is just so pretty because we have this half sapphire, half gold. And this, look at this. This is gorgeous. This is all attached, so it's one bead with this bead cap on it. That is just beautiful. You see what I mean about they have different kinds of beads, things I have never seen before. So pretty though. Beautiful color. Okay, next we have Valley of the Kings chain. And that's really nice. It's really cool the way it looks. Definitely giving me an Egyptian vibe with the way that looks. And a pretty color because it's gold but not like a fake looking gold. Very pretty. I really like the way this chain looks. Okay, next, lapis blue. And again, look at that beautiful blue sapphire faceted beads. Highly faceted, I mean super shimmery. We have blue and purple and pink and green. Very pretty and a very nice shape to this bead. See, it's flat. Super pretty. Okay, next we are going to go with Blue Lotus. Okay. So of course I'm thinking earrings right away because we could hang a bunch of different dangles from these holes right here. Very nice. And then we'll go with Pharaoh. That's pretty. Again, we have a lot of different things we could dangle from here and a pretty stone in the middle. Very nice. Now we are going with a Sacred Scarab. Oops, okay. Okay. That's really cool. Look at that bead. That's very pretty. I love different color variations on here. And the pattern. It's almost like a tiger's eye, cat's eye, with a different color, shimmery look. Very pretty. Next we have papyrus. Papyrus, that's a plant, I believe, that grows near the Nile. So pretty golden seed beads. It's a very pretty color. Just dump a few of these out, and I'm not dumping the whole thing. Okay, let's go with the last bead strand. And this is Nefertiti. And look at how pretty this is. Beautiful colors in here. So we have red faceted, and we have spacers, we have daisy spacers, and heshy beads. And this is really pretty. Look at these bead caps and this really pretty bead here. It's brown, like a brick red, I would say, and it has pretty swirls in it. almost the color of my nail polish. Actually, this one is the color of my nail polish, basically. I didn't plan it. That is so pretty. And it is a nice long strand. These colors are gorgeous, especially with the gold in between there, because that really just makes it all pop. Super gorgeous. And then we're going to move on to the bead mixes. And we have 2 of them. Okay, so first we have a Cleopatra. Oh, beautiful. Look at these golds and creams. Look at this. Look, this is a solid bead. That is super pretty and super different. I mean, it's definitely very sturdy. It's like a metal bead, or maybe it's like a ceramic. I don't know. It's very pretty. And look at these bead caps. Very nice. We have these cream colored beads, and then we have some off-white with a little bit of shimmer to it. Put these together here. And then we have this spacer bead. And look at how pretty that is with that design on there. Very pretty. Let me see what else, if it's all the same. No, I see a few different things. Let me take it out. And then we have these disc spacers. Oops. And these, this is a very pretty golden orange color, isn't it? That is so nice. I would say these are probably glass. But so pretty. And we have one more. And this is Gift of the Nile. This is beautiful colors. Look at that. That is so pretty. So sparkly. Wow, that's beautiful. This is really pretty too. And it's flat. So see, it's like flat on this side. But look at these. That teal color with the gold surrounding that. That is really pretty. And same thing, it has a flat surface. See, and there's the hole, so it goes, so the hole goes from here to here. That is really pretty. And we have some bead caps. And these really pretty gold, like a metallic gold beads here. And then we have these very faceted bead. And we have these golden teardrop shaped beads. Oh, look at these again. Oh, that is so cool. That is really nice. And we have some of these really pretty faceted beads. It's almost clear, but yet I guess it's because it's so faceted, because I do see a rainbow I do see purple and blue and pink. Very pretty. But this is cool. I really like these. It's really different. Oh, we still have more in here. There's a lot they pack in these little containers, huh? I mean, that's a lot that's packed in here. Jam-packed. Put some of these back. Okay, guys, well, here is everything in the Magical Mystery Bead Box for the month of October, Ancient Egypt. And I think everything is just stunningly beautiful. The colors are just popping and sparkling. It's just so pretty. Okay, well, stay tuned, and I'm going to think of something to design and hopefully give you some design inspiration with this beautiful, beautiful box. Okay, beaders, so let's go ahead and design something. And I'm thinking what I want to do is make a bracelet. And I'm thinking I probably want to use this Cleopatra mix and the Gift of the Nile mix. So together. So I'm want to use some beads from both of these. I think that would look very pretty. Okay, so what you're going to need are your bead mixes, and then I have jump rings, so I will use gold. And I have my beading wire, and this is already cut because this was just what was remaining on one of the spools that I had. So it was just in my bag, just like this. Okay, so you will need some beading wire. Just whatever kind of wire that will fit your beads will be fine. And then I have my bent nose pliers, my flush cutters. I have round nose pliers. And I have a magical crimper, but you can use whatever crimping tool that you have. I have some gold crimp tubes, and then this came with my magical crimper. And then I also have a gold toggle clasp. And I think that's about it. You will need a bead stopper as well, and then also a ruler to measure your bracelet or measure it on your wrist, however you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and pour my beads out in my dishes, and I will be back in just a minute. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually not even going to use my bead stopper. I didn't think about this, but I'm going to bead from both sides because I want to have a centerpiece, a focal piece. So then I'll just bead from both sides. So first I'm going to use this piece as my center. And it almost matches my nails. So I'm just going to take that down right to the middle of my beading wire. I mean, it's all about trial and error. And oh, maybe we want a gold piece first, you know, and seeing what looks best. Oopsie. Okay, let's use some blue now. Let's see. Okay, maybe we need to put gold in between here. Okay, let's try this now. Yes, that looks good. Okay, now we got a thing going here. Let's see, let's go with a gold. How about this? But since this has such a wide hole, let me see how this looks first. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Now, since this has such a wide hole, what we're going to do is take a bead. I have these. It doesn't matter really what kind of bead it is. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to use one of these gold beads. You see it's not very big. Oops. And I'm just going to stick it inside the hole here. And that's to keep it stable, so it won't be moving around. See? It's right inside there. So that's the trick. When you have a bead that has a really wide hole like this, unless you're using it with something that is, you know, can fit good through there, can fit nice through there, then you want to use something to stabilize it. So that's all you need to do is just take a smaller bead and put it down inside that hole. So then that'll keep it stabilized. Okay, so let me do the same thing. So that's why I said it doesn't matter what kind of bead it is, because you're not going to see it. There. Oh yeah, that's looking really pretty. Okay, let me get these out of here before I knock them over. That's all that I need. Knock these beads on the floor and make a big old mess. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take another blue. Let's see. I want to use this. Let's see how this looks though, beside this. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use that. Now when you cut your wire, you want to cut a couple inches more than what you need. So whatever fits around your wrist, cut about 3 or 4 inches more, because you always want it bigger. Okay, I like how this looks. That looks really good. And now let's go ahead and put Okay, yeah, that's coming together really nicely. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, let's go with a blue piece. Okay, let's see what we have. Another gold piece. I'm seeing it's small. I guess these. See. Guess we'll try these again. So this pretty faceted teal. That's pretty. Or should we use gold here maybe? Try some gold. Or maybe we'll go with these again. Okay, yeah. I think that looks really pretty. Let me measure this. You don't want to keep beading and then it's going to be way too long. Where is my ruler? Here it is. My ruler's clear, so it's hard for me to see. Okay. Now it's about 6.5 inches, which is actually probably good because by the time we put, you know, our crimp tube and the clasp and all that, it's probably going to be just the right size that I need for me. All right, let me take my bead stopper here and then try it out. Oh, that's pretty. I don't know. I don't know if I should go one more maybe. No, that'll be, it's 7 inches. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead like this. Okay, and this is my pattern. I think that's really pretty. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and crimp this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a bead stopper on my other side now. While I crimp this side. Okay, I'm going to take a gold crimp tube. Two of them. Oops, not 50. Okay, first I'm going to put my toggle clasp on jump rings. So I have 2 gold jump rings I'm going to use for that. And I'm going to take my bent nose pliers and my round nose pliers. And then go ahead and open this up. Like that. So you like that. And then stick your bar on and close that. Ooh, these camera lights that I'm using here, shoot, they're hot. I feel like I'm getting sunburned with these. I mean, I don't know if it's that hot, but they are sure hot on me. Put on your crimp tube. Okay, so now we have on our crimp tube, and then I'm going to feed the jump ring through the wire. And then I'm going to take my wire back over the clasp and through the crimp tube. Make sure your wires are not crossed inside. Then you're going to pull that down. And then you could feed this through your beads, a couple of beads. And then you just pull this down. And make sure that there's not much space here. So you don't want this loop right here to be too big. Oop, you don't want it too small either. You want to make sure you have some movement to your clasp. Okay, so we could go ahead and crimp this. Where is my crimper? Here. Okay, so I'm using a magical crimper. And I'm going to crimp this. So you're just going to smush it down inside the little chamber there. And then turn it halfway and smush it again. And then you're just going to keep turning until you have a nice bead, is the way it's supposed to be. Doesn't always work for me. So okay, well, it's crimped. So pull on it and make sure that it is tight. Okay, so we have one side crimped here. And now we'll go ahead and do the other side before, so don't clip that yet. Do the other side and then we'll clip both of them. Now, so I'm going to take my crimp tube and feed it on the wire. And then I'm going to take my clasp and feed the jump ring through. Now I'm going to feed my wire back through my crimp tube. And then you want to go ahead and feed that through a couple of your beads. And then take your cord, make sure it's not crossed in your crimp tube. So then you want to take your cord, the tail here and your clasp, and pull them both. So then you're pushing that down like that. And have your bracelet bent. You don't want it straight because then that way it'll make it tight. So you want to make sure that your bracelet has movement. And I could go ahead and release this a little bit. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and crimp this. Okay, and just make sure that both sides of your crimps are really tight. It's not going to come loose. So that's the main thing. I mean, if it doesn't look that great, your crimp tube, you could always put a crimp cover over it, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing anyway. So, okay, so now we could go ahead and cut our wire. So you want to cut it as close as possible. Make sure you only cut the one. That's why sometimes I prefer to use the clamshell, because that way then you're covering the crimp and then you have a nice bead with the clamshell. But I wanted to give my magical crimper another try. I guess I just have to practice a little bit more. I don't know why this is not cutting. There we go. Okay, so I think this looks really, really good. I'm going to go ahead and put a little dangle, I think, on the back here. So I'm going to grab some head pins. I have gold head pins. Grab a couple of those. Okay, so now we're going to take one of our beads here. This is going to be for a dangle, and we're just going to put it on an eye pin. And I'm going to take my pliers and stick it right above that bead, and then bend that top back. And then I'm going to cut this down to about 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to cut that. And then I'm going to loop this back on itself. So I'm taking my round nose pliers right to the edge where we just cut. And then I'm going to just take my pliers and then loop this till it forms a nice loop. And then we're going to go ahead and open this up. So just bend that up slightly. And then we're going to take this charm and this charm and put them together. Oh yeah, I did make one charm already. So like that. And then we're going to do one more. I'm going to take this one and do the same thing. So put it on my head pin and just create my charm. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Okay guys, so I have my little bead dangle made here, my little charms, and I'm just going to go ahead and attach that to this side here. So I'm going to attach it to this jump ring like that. And go ahead and close this up. That looks really cute. I think this looks really, really nice. It's really, really pretty. I really like these beads. Okay, let's make a pair of earrings to go with this too. I think that would be nice. Okay, so I'm going to take some eye pins. I have a couple eye pins here. And let's see. Do we want to use this maybe? This is so pretty. Look at how pretty that is. Very pretty. Look at that sparkle in there. That is so nice. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to set it, put it on my head pin, take my round nose pliers right up to the top of that, or slightly above. And then you're just going to bend this back. And I'm going to take my flush cutters and cut that down. Now I'm going to take this right to the edge where we just cut my round nose pliers and just form a loop. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing to the other one, because we have two of these in this bead mix. So perfect for a pair of earrings. I'm going to take some gold head pins, take a couple of these. I don't know, I'm not going to use that many. All right, I'm just going to put some of these beads on here. I think I'm just going to do one bead per head pin. And I'm just going to make my charms just like we did here. Okay, and I'm just going to keep doing that. So I'm not going to make you watch me do the whole thing. I'm just going to keep doing what I did. So I'm going to make little charms. And then I will be back when I have all my charms made, and then we will put our earrings together. Okay, so these are the charms that I made. You can make more if you want to. I think that's about all I'm gonna make. I don't know, we're gonna put this together and see if I need to make any more. Okay, so I'm gonna take one of these charms and one of these. And we probably need to make something else. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make one more charm for each earring. Okay, so I think I'm gonna use these. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Make 2 more of these, and then I will come right back. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and take my larger jump ring, and I'm going to put my little charms on there. Now I have my cat over here squealing because he's ready to eat. Guess what? It's not time for him to eat yet. Yeah. Sorry, Blakey. Okay, and then I'm going to take that and then stick it on one of my rings here. And then we can close this up. Make sure it is good and closed. And then you just want to take your ear wire, and you can use this to connect it to your loop here. You don't need another jump ring. So you just want to lift that up like that, and then stick your loop on the top through there. And then if you have a specific way that this needs to face, you need to pay attention to that. But this really doesn't. We don't have any pattern or anything. And then just make sure this is sealed shut. And the same thing with this one, that's closed, okay? So we have that. There we go. Really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to this one, and I will be right back. Okay, so here we go. Aren't these really pretty? I really love these beads. I wish there was a couple more in this kit. I think they are so pretty. I really like these. And here is our full set. Okay guys, well here is our bracelet and earring set using the Magical Mystery Bead Box for the month of November. And this is Ancient Egypt. I think these turned out really, really pretty. I'm really happy with them. The beads are just gorgeous. So if you would like to check out the Magical Mystery Bead Box, I will link that in my description. So you can check it out and see if you would like to subscribe to their monthly box. So go ahead and check that out. And please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.